Industry Training and Apprenticeships Amendment Bill, second reading.
Peter Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment, I move that the Industry Training and Apprenticeships Amendment Bill be now read a second time. Sir, this is an important bill that implements the legislative changes required following a policy review of industry training. It complements the operational improvements to industry training that are already underway, many of which came into effect on the 1st of January of this year. By way of background, government expenditure on industry training more than trebled from $64 million in 2000-2001 to $204 million in 2009-2010 financial year. In 2011, there were approximately 154,000 trainees and apprentices enrolled, and this included 14,300 modern apprentices compared to an average of 25,000 per annum before 1992. However, performance, as measured by qualification completions and credit attainment, was poor. Less than a third of trainees achieved a qualification 5 years after starting their industry training program, and typically over 50% of industry trainees and over 30% of modern apprentices achieved no credits between 2002 and 2010. This situation was obviously unsustainable, and the government took quick and decisive action. Our operational changes have led to significant improvements in both qualification and credit attainment. That work is ongoing, and it has freed up funding for reinvestment into the system. The next step was to take a more fundamental look at the industry training system. In 2011, we initiated a comprehensive policy review to assess whether the current model is fit for purpose. The Industry Training and Apprenticeships Amendment Bill implements changes arising from that review that require legislative change. The bill will first establish a comprehensive apprenticeship system that provides the same level of support to all apprentices regardless of age. Secondly, it focuses industry training organisations, or ITOs, on two key functions: setting skill standards for the industries and arranging training. Thirdly, it clarifies the functions and powers of the New Zealand Qualifications Authority, or NZQA, in relation to those ITOs. And fourthly, it includes criteria relating to quality assurance and the process by which the responsible minister recognises an organisation as an ITO. So the bill's reforms to apprenticeships are important. A big part of the vocational training story in New Zealand has always been apprenticeships. However, the importance of apprenticeships slipped over the last 10 years in favour of more generic industry training. This, in many cases, involved a lot of short courses and very low levels of completion. The bill enables the establishment of New Zealand apprenticeships, a comprehensive apprenticeship system that provides the same level of support to all apprentices regardless of age. Submitters to the Select Committee were supportive of this objective. The bill repeals the Modern Apprenticeship Training Act 2000 and amends the Industry Training Act of 1992 so that legislation relating to industry training and apprenticeships is located in one modern piece of legislation. The apprenticeship reboot has been underway for a year now, and the first 10,000 and later extended to 14,000 new apprentices enrolled since March 2013 have been eligible for a grant of $1,000 towards their tools and off-job costs, or $2,000 if they are in priority trades, with the same amount paid to their employer. Since the reboot started, over 11,000 apprenticeships have been signed up. Sir, I want to thank the members of the Education and Science Committee for their diligent consideration of the bill, and I especially want to acknowledge the Chair, Dr Cam Calder. I also wish to thank the 30 organisations and individuals that made submissions on the bill. I will briefly cover the substantive amendments that the committee has made to the bill. And the amendments illustrate that in its deliberations, the committee has been particularly mindful of the status of ITOs as industry-owned and governed bodies, and I thank it for that. The committee has amended the bill so that the Minister may only impose or amend conditions on the recognition of an ITO that are reasonably necessary to maintain the quality and effectiveness of industry training. I welcome the committee's amendments to the provisions concerning the Minister's power to impose conditions on recognition. Conditions on an ITO's recognition are intended to be the penultimate response before cancellation of recognition to serious poor performance or non-compliance with lower-level quality assurance interventions. It is therefore appropriate that any such conditions are subject to a test of reasonableness and limited to maintaining the quality and effectiveness of industry training. Clause 16, new section 13(b) of the bill gives the NZQA the power to prescribe quality assurance requirements for ITOs using rules made under the Education Act of 1989. The committee has amended the bill so that quality assurance requirements may relate to ITO's ability to hold approval by the NZQA for the ITO's programs or training schemes and to assess students against skill standards. The committee has also amended the bill to limit the extent to which quality assurance requirements may relate to the governance of ITOs. This amendment improves the bill. ITOs are industry-owned and governed organisations, but it is important that ITOs are subject to appropriate quality assurance. The NZQA has a valid interest in ITO's governance, but only to the extent that it is assured that the ITO has the ability to carry out its core functions, and the committee's amendment ensures this. I welcome the committee's amendments throughout the bill to clarify that ITOs are responsible for maintaining skill standards as well as developing them. This is an important change to the bill, which will have real impact on ensuring the skill standards that ITOs set are responsive to the rapidly changing needs of industries. The committee has made several other amendments relating to NZQA's powers under the bill. It has made amendments to address the fact that the introduction version of the bill did not include any consequences when an ITO fails to address a quality assurance improvement notice. The committee has also made amendments so that the annual fee prescribed by the NZQA may cover the cost of issuing quality assurance improvement notices, and so that the bill references the relevant statutory powers under the Education Act 1989 for the NZQA to charge fees to ITOs. Sir, the bill enables the Minister to issue, by notice in the Gazette, an apprenticeship training code covering the responsibilities of apprentices, their employers and organisations that arrange apprenticeship training. The bill's provisions relating to the code generally reenact provisions of the Modern Apprenticeship Training Act 2000. The committee has amended the bill to specify that before issuing a code, the Minister may consult any person or organisation that the Minister considers appropriate. The committee has also made amendments to clarify the code, that the code is intended to be mandatory, and to require the Gazette notice to specify the date the code comes into force. The government intends to support the amendments recommended by the committee. Sir, in summary, the bill is a vital part of the government's comprehensive reforms to industry training to achieve better performance for employers, for trainees and apprentices, and also for taxpayers. Mr. Speaker, I now commend the Industry Training and Apprenticeships Amendment Bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Grant Robertson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is one of those bills where there was an opportunity to get a